Hello and welcome back to our podcast. My name is Dr. Alison Chiwara. I'm the CEO and founder of Human Focus Limited, a company that is dedicated to creating happier and healthier humans all around. And today, I really want to talk about a number of things, and allow me to indulge on this one, if you may. I really want us to talk about the stories that do not ask for permission to be told, or the stories that just rise, but with lots of truths, and often we never find room to share them. So I hope that this lands beautifully as I share this. I want to talk about a woman in a place called Mzarabani, the woman who built where there was nothing, the woman who brought letters across continents, the woman who gathered other women, fed minds, healed bodies, and created dignity where systems had not yet arrived. That woman has a name, and I will share that as we go along. And when I speak of this woman, it is not in a fragmented or in polite summaries. It is with pride, it is with reverence, and it's with knowing that those who have encountered her understand without explanation, because she was never just present. She was pivotal. She put her whole heart into everything that she did. She built a bakery led by women before empowerment even had a language, even though, while she was doing it, we didn't even understand what that was. She reached out to Norway, yes, years ago, before mobiles, before emails, seeking solutions when resources were scarce. Not because it was easy, but because it was necessary. She taught people how to nourish themselves through illness, how to endure, how to just live with dignity when there were no donors inside, no safety nets waiting. And somehow she did all of this with no grand declarations. Never did I ever hear her speak of it, but with a quiet certainty. And then in the midst of all of that, there was something almost magical about her. She brought people together. A matchmaker of hearts, of homes, of futures, not by chance, but by insight. She could see alignment before others recognized it. She could sense what would last. And many of those unions, even today, still stand. There is something deeply profound about that, because leaders in today's world are completely different. And leadership is not only about building structures, you see. It is about building people. It is about building relationships. It is about, building legacies that will continue long after you step away. And when I reflect on her, I realize something extraordinarily powerful. She was everything I aspired to be, a leader before her time, a woman who did not wait for the world to catch up to her understanding, because I often felt she was misunderstood at times, a mind that moved faster than circumstances. That was her, a heart that carried others, even when she herself was navigating through so much. I often wondered, how did she do it? That woman was my mom. And then there's my father. He was a different kind of leader, structured, precise, and intentional, literally. And the quiet yet intentional voice in the house. Everything accounted for on paper, of course. We still laugh. My brothers and my sister and I still look back, and my nieces still look back and we laugh, because in my father's briefcases was our reports, handwritten reports from when we were in kindergarten. Everything accounted for, literally. There is something deeply grounding about that. He had the kind of leadership that ensured that nothing got lost, that systems hold. Completely different from my mom. That accountability is not an afterthought, but it was a way of life for him. And sometimes I catch myself thinking, If only I could have been that organized. If only I could hold that level of order so effortlessly, honestly. And then I have my brother, Brian, a mind that cuts through complexity. Where others circle problems, he kind of has this ability to arrive at the center, like quickly, decisively, without unnecessary noise. Like when he's made up his mind, he just gets to it. And that is brilliance in that. It's just pure brilliance. The ability to solve and to move on and not linger around the confusion, but to just go ahead with what we, where, and sort of instruct your focus where it's most needed. And when you step back and look at it all, you begin to see something remarkable here. The people in our lives shape us in ways we don't always recognize in that moment. They become our first examples of leadership. The lectures from universities are another thing, and it's not even through formal teaching, but just through being. So let me ask you about yourself. How often do you pose and recognize your parents as your leadership role models? Not in the obvious ways, like we know them, of course, but in the quiet traits that you yourself carry as a leader. The resilience you did not realize you inherited, the ways you solve problems, the ways you show up for others, and the way that you think, you decide, and you move. Because somewhere along the way, their wisdom became part of your language. And perhaps that is the most beautiful truth of it all. Leadership is not always learned in institutions. It is lived in homes, in conversations, in moments that did not feel like lessons, but became the very foundations in which you operate, in which you navigate your leadership, in which you even parent, perhaps. So as the world continues to redefine what leadership truly is, through frameworks, strategies, and all these shifting expectations, there is something grounding about remembering this, that before the titles that you have, before the rooms that you've entered, before all of the other things that we carry on our shoulders, pre-names, post-names, there were people who showed you and I, what it meant to lead. People who, without even knowing, showed you how you would one day show up in the world. And for me, that story begins with a woman from Mzarabani, Chiwara Wekwamaki, my mother, my blueprint, my quiet campus, in all of the things that I do, wrongly or rightly. And maybe just maybe, the greater leaders that we become are actually reflections of the lives that first led us to where we are. So therefore, I urge you to use the power of those that came before you. There are some stories that do not begin with lots of noise, but these are carried through generations. And when you look back at those dots that I always speak about, you can see their footsteps. And you simply have to just follow through those footsteps. And that is what creates generational legacy. You see, as I was telling you, there were no systems that were supporting my mom, no donors that were waiting in the wings of things, no guarantees that what she was doing would work and that the money she was spending would be somehow given back. None of that. And I remember this doctor that she worked with very closely, Dr. Tangler from Norway, where looking back right now, I look back and I say, how did she do that? My mother refused to accept limitations as the final word. She refused limitations of there is no email. Those back in the days, there was no emails at all. She just knew how to write and seek for help and look for answers, and refusing that somewhere in the world nobody will help. It was just courage, expressed through ink and paper, if you like. And even then, she taught me something. She taught what we now look back as mental health and well-being when one is unwell. My mom was teaching women, young men, how to eat, how to care for their bodies, how to endure treatment with dignity when they were on treatments. She gave knowledge when resources were so few. She gave hope when certainty was actually absent. And then there was a gift. The one that, felt almost like something out of a folklore, honestly. She had this ability to just bring people together. And she did it intentionally. She kind of just knew how two people could come together and they would marry one day, perhaps. She could bring two businesses, somebody who had ambition with somebody who knew what to do. She was matching mentees with mentors well before her time. I always think that it's just, when I think about it, it was just nothing out of ordinary. That woman, that quiet force in a place the world did not always look at, a place in the valleys. When I speak of her, it is not just a memory alone, because those that knew her completely understand. She was anything and everything that I truly look back at and I think, wow. A different rhythm entirely to how leadership is today. Completely different. In a world filled with language and, all sorts, transformation agendas, there's something almost sacred about remembering that long before all of this, there were people like my mother building, connecting, healing, leading, without needing to carry it or needing even names attached to anything. So as the world grows louder and as leaders become more visible, more defined, more measured, you call it, there's a quiet truth that still remains. The most powerful leaders are not always the ones the world sees first. They are the ones who understand, who act in faith and leave something behind that cannot be undone. But perhaps the names will never be spoken. And for me, that understanding has a name. I will repeat. My mom, Spirit Chiwara. My blueprint, the living definition of leadership. And maybe, just maybe, the greatest thing you will ever, or I will ever become. It is not something that you invent, but something that you recognize in that lives that taught you how to lead are worth celebrating. So from me to you, from Human Focus Limited to your organizations, to your household, it's goodbye for now. Until next time, please keep tuning in every Wednesday. Ta for now.